first step of the customer satisfaction system is to greet customers. And when we greet customers, we make them feel welcome, we make them feel comfortable, we turn our attention on them.
The greet step is the important piece to set the stage with the customer. It's the first impression that they have.
First impressions are lasting impressions. They are what you're going to remember the person by.
I greet people with a smile, and I always try to look them in the eye.
Making the eye contact, making them feel comfortable. I think that gets skipped a lot.
In the beginning, I didn't do the greeting well with my internal customers at all. And in the very beginning, when it was brought to my attention, was very defensive. You know, you're not my concern. I need to get back to my customer. We're here for the customers.
Certainly the way you greet a customer initially on the phone is very, very important.
I think electronically is also a challenge because we can't control tone in our emails. I think one thing that I've been practicing is when I'm about to send out an email to someone, particularly if I'm trying to make sure that my message is getting across, I'll read it out loud, because then I can make sure, is this really saying what I think, or does it sound a little too brisk? Because here again, I've lost the audio version even on the phone, and now I'm relying simply on words, and am I putting those words together in a way that's going to make them feel valued?
The second step of the system is to value customers. We say things like, you're very important, that you pay my salary, that there's something about you I like.
Step number 2, value, there's something I like about this person. Repeating that in my mind as I'm talking to them on the phone.
I think a person can tell right away if you value them across the phone.
The one that I embraced the most was value, because I think that when you value someone, you are more likely to really want to provide a service for them. If I don't value someone, I'm just going through the motions, and it shows. It shows in everything that you do.
I really value people now. And also, I always try to look at something good about that person.
And the next one is to ask how we can help customers. When we ask how we can help them, we find out what their needs are, we find out why they contacted us.
You want to know what it is, how it is that you can help them, and what it is that you can, serve them with.
Instead of saying, may I help you, I say, how may I help you? And that how just adds so much to a different point of view until it has really changed my focus from the product to the customer.
I don't think we ever just know what the person is needing or wanting. Asking makes a huge difference. When you assume, it brings on many misinterpretations of what the person's looking for. And when you ask them, it makes them feel important.
The next step of the system is to listen to customers. And when we listen to them, we listen to what they say, we listen to how they say it, we listen to their body language, and we try to determine what they're really trying to say to us.
I think when I went through the program, the one that jumped out at me was listen, because I just don't think I do a very good job at that naturally.
I still find that as a challenge for myself. How do I just sit and listen to them without formulating my next response to something they've just said? Or I'm listening for them to take a breath so I can jump right in there and give my point of view, or to keep the conversation going. But that doesn't foster a good relationship unless we take the time to really listen to somebody and really understand their point of view. How in the world can we offer them the best service?
And that's why listening is so important. Certainly important to ask the right questions, but equally, if not more important, to listen to what the customer has to say.
I'm way more conscious of what I'm doing and if I'm really listening to somebody. One of my goals throughout the class was to know that I could go home each day and say that I had listened to somebody.
The next step of the system is to help customers. And once we have gained rapport with them, and once we understand what their needs are, what their wants are, what their problems are that we can help them solve, now it's time to help them.
The characteristics of a high-performing service professional certainly are a need to help people.
Help is where I'm going to help the customer with their situation today. I'm going to be able to provide to them the ability to choose, have a solution for what's happening today, but again, maybe solve a long-term problem as well.
I want to be someone that at the end of the day, I know that I helped someone solve a problem, or I assisted them, or if I just made them feel good about themselves that day by smiling at them or saying, how can I help you?
The last step of the system is to invite them back, or invite them to contact us again or come to see us again.
I found the invite step actually one of the most entertaining. I made a conscious effort when I was a student in the class to just try that. When people leave my office to say, come again.
Inviting people back. I tend to want to skip that.
I think you have to leave them wanting to come back.
And that invite back might be a, hey, by the way, there's something else we have out there. It might be, by the way, yeah, we have an investment management outlook that's out on our internet site. And they can then go back into the internet site. And it always gets them coming back and giving that little bit of extra value, that little gift at the end to say, we value you, we want you to be our client, here's a little something extra, keep coming back to us.
Actually, when we first looked at the model, there were those in our organization that thought, maybe this is a little too simplistic because we have people in the organization who would look for something a little bit more complicated. But one of the things we've learned is that it is something that all of our staff will be able to relate to.
Very often when we teach this to people first is they say, oh man, everyone knows that. That is too simple. What is this? This is basic stuff, which of course it is. But then we ask them, okay, think of the last 10 people that you did business with and what percentage of them actually did these steps. Whoa, that puts it in a totally different framework.